Hello and welcome to the podcast. I hope you've got headphones. I hope you've gone outside because we're going Alfresco. Katy Beskow is an award-winning cook, writer and cookery tutor with a passion for seasonal ingredients, vibrant food and fuss-free home cooking. Once inspired by a bustling and colourful fruit market in South London. Well, which one could that be? Katy now lives in rural Yorkshire and cooks from a small yet perfectly functioning kitchen. I've got to tell you, I can see it on the Zoom call and it's immaculate. She blogs at www.katybeskow.com. She has 7 award-winning cookbooks out with her 8th. You got more than that, haven't you? Maybe you have.
I've got my 8th coming out this year, yeah.
Vegan Barbecue. That's out in June 2022. There it is. It's all in front of you, Jacob. Just read it out. Richard Fox has worked for many years cooking privately for celebrity and business clients. I want to know what celebrities. He's an award-winning writer, cookbook author and chef presenter, having won a prestigious British Guild Award for food and beer writing. He was resident chef presenter on BBC One's regional programme Look North. Got to ask you about that. He was a regular chef on... Was that in Yorkshire?
It was a long time ago,
was that
Jake,
in Leeds?
I'll tell you that. Yeah, it was in Leeds, yeah.
Yeah, I used to
Yorkshire,
work there. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I was a sort of token ethnic southerner. It was a good time.
I'm sure it was. It's a fabulous setup they've got there.
He was also on Saturday Cooks on ITV, the good food show on BBC Radio 4, to name but a few. And most recently, he's founded Jampers, a company dedicated to producing high-quality natural faux meat products. When previewed at the recent World Plant-Based Expo in London, Jampers pork-style pie won the Dragon's Pantry feature at the event, and it's set to launch in summer 2022. Welcome to you both.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Now, I practice alfresco dining a lot. What I mean is I generally eat from bins. Do you enjoy the alfresco lifestyle in freezing Yorkshire?
I do. I absolutely love it. I think cooking outside, eating outside is what it's all about. It's sociable, it's relaxed, it's just got those summery vibes, but also, crack up out the barbecue in winter as well. Why not? I don't eat out of bins though.
Do you not?
Not always.
There's that bit of freeganism there,
Freegan,
Jake.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the best thing about doing it outside is that, you can spill stuff and it doesn't matter. I
think if you've got a cover, it like Katy says, I mean, it should be an all year round thing. You put an extra jumper on. And I've always used my barbecue as an oven. If you've got a lid, then you have an outdoor oven. I mean, we did Christmas dinner on ours a couple of years ago. So there's nothing you can't do on it, really.
Amazing. Well, I'm looking forward to jumping into all the questions. Thanks, everyone, for emailing them. It's podcast@veganlifemag.com. If you've got a question about any kind of vegan cooking, we'll get them to the people who have the best answer for you. Sammy starts by saying, in the tempeh episode... Oh, yeah, the tempeh episode. Katy, you should not have a very bad attitude.
It's Marmite, isn't it, tempeh?
I feel really bad because Club Culture, who came on in the tempeh episode, were like, Jake, we're going to change your mind. We got this beautiful tempeh. You're going to love it. And they even sent me a sample and said, can you film yourself eating it? And because we really think we'll have a breakthrough. And I filmed myself eating it. And I haven't sent them the video because I think they're going to be bitterly disappointed.
I like the Better Nature one, I have to say.
Oh, yeah? Okay, fine.
As good as I have tasted.
Good to know. Anyway, in that episode, the guy spoke about a banh mi sandwich. And since then, I'm seeing these sandwiches crop up more and more. Yes, I'm in the same boat as Jake, and I hate tempeh too. I would love to know how the guests make their banh mis. Have you banh mi'd, Richard?
I've po'-boyed, which is the kind of New Orleans, Louisiana version.
Yeah.
Of it, really kind of same concept, exactly the same idea. It's a baguette with a hot
load of fun stuffing.
And I mean, obviously the traditional New Orleans ones were, shrimp and chicken and so forth. I mean, I like to do deep fried cauliflower with like a spicy mayonnaise. But I mean, it's a hot sandwich, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So anything goes.
Yeah, it's the what's that chili sauce? The paste that you stick in a banh mi. That's what makes it for me, I think. Sambal olek, that's what it's called. Sambal olek, which with mayonnaise and Maggi seasoning combines to create something truly magical. I'm really excited to come on to you, Katy, because I discovered from your Instagram feed, I've learned so much from you already, most critically, that it is possible to buy Hellmann's vegan mayonnaise by the bucket.
Oh no! I really regretted posting that.
Yes! 1,000 times yes! Just give me that and a straw.
That was a lockdown purchase that I was like, do you know what? This would be really good.
Yeah. And
this is going to last me. But actually, it didn't last that long. And I was, a little bit of me was disgusted and a little bit of me was impressed.
You know, the best experiences in life should end in that sort of state.
Yeah, it was great. But yeah, they're brilliant. And I actually got it delivered to an Amazon locker as well. So I had to cross the road, but they didn't box it. So I just had to carry a bucket of mayonnaise.
Everyone?
And you've got the tub as well to boot at the end of it, haven't you?
This is it. It's so useful. There's always a pepper. You can repurpose everything. It's very modern.
Well, that's how we used to buy in commercial when I worked in commercial kitchens. It was always the big tubs, and they get recycled for your
sea salt in a tub. Yeah. It looks great as well. It's great to have it in the fridge. But yeah, I just found so many uses for mayonnaise. For vegan mayonnaise, it was just perfect. So it didn't last long, unfortunately.
No, I'm sort of glad. If you'd said, it just lasted forever, then I would have judged you.
Yeah, I understand that.
Have you done a banh mi?
I love a banh mi. So I use smoked tofu because I'm not a massive fan of all the faux meats, if I'm honest with you. But I use smoked tofu cut really finely, just shallow fried until really, really crispy. That's the way I do it, and make a quick satay sauce to go over that, and loads of pink pickles, loads of crunch in there as well, and some really tasty bread, nice baguette.
That sounds
you can add mayonnaise if you want.
Add mayonnaise, for God's sake.
Well, it's what you can add to mayonnaise that makes it so fantastic, doesn't it? But, smoked paprika, chipotle paste,
fresh minced garlic,
lemon juice, anything.
Okay, Sammy, go play. I hope you enjoy it. Philippa says, my sister is having her hen party this year. Oh, good luck, Philippa. And I've said I will host it in my garden. Oh, good luck, Philippa. I don't want to take on too much. Philippa, I think you've taken on too much. I think I may cook a paella. Obviously, this normally has quite a lot of meat in it. I would love some tips on how to make a veggie one. Well, I would say go and check out our Spanish cooking special from our World Tour series last summer. But, Katy, have you done a paella?
Yeah, I love a paella. And of course, outside where you can get all the smoky flavours from your charcoal is the way to cook it. And when you cook it on charcoal as well, obviously, because it starts off really, really hot and gradually slows down, that's just the way you want it to cook paella as well. So I love using butter beans to get all that nice meaty sort of protein in there. Lots of jarred artichokes, and also a slice through some olives. That might be a bit controversial, but just to give that balance of flavour, it's really delicious. And of course, while you've got that going on your barbecue, get some padron peppers on, get some patatas bravas on as well. Get a real Spanish feel. I want that now.
That sounds amazing. Yeah,
absolutely. The paella is actually my go-to dinner party dish because it cooks from start to finish in pretty much half an hour, and including practically your prep if you're quick, because things like your veg or asparagus, for example, if it's in season, you can be char grilling while the paella cooks, and then you just put it in the middle of the table and everybody piles in. But I mean, for me, the secret is it's all about the base flavor. You've got to get those onions sweating off really gently, maybe a little bit of caramelization in. Because I always think with vegan cooking, you are compensating all the time for the absence of the meat flavors. So it's kind of, you can't be lazy. I put plenty of garlic in. I'll put a few fennel seeds in there at the beginning just to get a little hint, just to build up layers of flavor. And obviously, good quality sweet smoked paprika. And I'm with Katy on the artichoke hearts as well. And again, I drain them really well, char grill them, put them in at the end to heat through.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Plenty of dill and plenty of lemon juice as well at the
absolutely.
End. I think the dill just lifts it, and so delicious.
Good fresh herbs.
That's a lovely call. Nice. I've realised this is a sort of such a well-balanced episode because we've got the man who's launching a fake meat product this summer and a woman who doesn't really like the fake meats. You know, like you're sort of Jack Sprat, the two of you. It's brilliant.
Oh, well, we can have an interesting conversation about that.
Well, have the conversation.
And I say faux meat rather than fake meat.
So what's the difference other than the price point?
It tastes nice.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I mean, it for me, it started off, and I say we're launching fake meats. It was actually Jamper's Porky Pie that started this because before I was vegan, I used to love a pork pie, cooking them as well as eating them. And I went into a major supermarket and saw that they had a vegan pork style pie. And I was absolutely gutted after I'd eaten it because I thought, well, as a vegan, I'm never going to eat this again. And if I was a meat eater, I'm never going to eat that instead. So I started thinking, well, I can do this myself. So that was my lockdown creation. And it took 18 months to develop. And had I not been able to do something where meat eaters would go, wow, this is just like a pork pie, then I wouldn't have bothered. And as you said at the beginning, it's all about using natural ingredients. So that's kind of my thing. I would say, well, I didn't stop eating meat because I didn't like the taste of it. But so much out there is, ultra processed, doesn't taste particularly good, isn't very good for you. So we're trying to fill that gap.
Nice. I did make a vegan pork pie a couple of Christmases ago, and I veganized aspic to the delight of literally no one. The vegan community has not been crying out for aspic. Katy, tell me about your relationship with the faux or fake meat.
I'm a vegan of 16 years, so when I started out, there was nothing, and it was like you say, it was the really poor excuses for the alternatives. And I think I just got so used to eating all the other good stuff and the other tasty stuff that when I do try the faux meats now, they've come on leaps and bounds. Even the cheeses are incredible now, where 16 years ago you had to go to a health food shop and they were all, who goes to a health food shop for cheese?
Yeah.
It's not what you want to do, is it? But yeah, they have changed, and I do incorporate them a lot more into the books and into the cooking now. And I love knowing about them and talking to people about them because people miss certain things. And like you say, if you're recommending something that is just mediocre or less than mediocre, they're not going to want to eat that again. And there's so much good vegan food. Why would you recommend something that wasn't great?
Yeah.
I mean, also, I think, moving forward, if we want people to eat less meat, if we want, because this isn't about appealing particularly to the vegans. We know what we like and what we want. It's about getting people who aren't vegan to eat less meat for all the, the reasons that we know, they should be doing that. So you've got to, as much as it would be wonderful for us all to be eating, a whole food, plant-based diet, in reality, that's not going to happen. And people may graduate onto that once they've discovered the joys of how they feel and, the impact they're having on the environment and animal welfare and so forth. But I think giving people something that they can happily have instead of the traditional meat dish is a great way to wean people off actual meat and, into a better lifestyle.
Or just a bucket of mayonnaise. Dan says, has anyone got a vegan ribs recipe? Richard, have you done ribs?
Again, for me, if I can't make something that's sort of as good as or as enjoyable as the original meat version, then I'll tend not to bother. And to be fair, I haven't done that with ribs. If I want to eat some great ribs, I'll go to Wagamama's. For vegan ribs, I think they do a fantastic job with them. So no, it's not in my repertoire, I have to say. What about you, Katy?
I would much rather have the nice sticky glaze that goes over it than that texture anyway. But the Wagamama version is delicious. Definitely, I've given that a very good go. But plenty of brown sugar, plenty of nice smoky flavours in there. And you're going to just let it reduce down and get a gorgeous sauce. I would rather just dip in the sauce.
And tofu is a wonderful thing. Well pressed tofu. for those sort of glazes that you're talking about.
Delicious.
Work beautifully.
And, jackfruit as well is great. If you want to get like that sort of pulled effect, jackfruit does really well with those sticky glazes as well, put through them.
Or seitan as well.
Yeah.
Would work nicely.
I think seitan is possibly the way forward because from what I understand, I never had ribs. But I kind of understand it to be quite chewy stuff with a good kind of bite to it. And tofu is great, but it doesn't always have quite that much resistance. And seitan gives you more of that kind of, that tendon mouth feel that omnivores enjoy so much. I got to say, I had the most amazing chicken nuggets that would have been really great as ribs. I think it was the toughest, chewiest seitan I've ever had. I think it's called Meat and Barrel in Southsea in Portsmouth. It was just amazing. Anyway, so yeah, I'd go for the seitan every time, I think. And you're right that it's always about the sauce, isn't it? Like, so just find a good sauce for the ribs and then stick it on whatever you want. It'll be nice on packing foam. Sue says, what are the panel's favourite things to put on a barbecue? I always opt for veggie sausages or burgers, so I'd love to go for something a bit different. I find my omnivore husband has so many options with different fishes, meats, etc. I like to mix it up a little this year. Let's start with you, Katie.
So I think I love barbecues, and I think thinking outside the box a little bit from burgers and sausages, you have to sort of let that step aside, delicious as they are, step aside from that for a moment and start thinking about skewering things like gnocchi along with, they're delicious, they're crispy, along with, some nice sweet peppers and tomatoes, get them really blistered and dark and beautiful. They're crispy, delicious. Love that. Flatbreads, you can make pizza, you can get a nice pizza stone. Pizza is gorgeous on the barbecue. It's the only way to cook it, I think now, after doing it on the barbecue. But also, you can really do well if you've got a lid for your barbecue, whole butternut squash, even like Hasselback's butternut squash, loads of vegan butter, loads of herbs in there. Absolutely delicious. So just step aside from the burgers and just think about all the things you can put on. And it's all about the sides as well, isn't it? As well, your nice crunchy salads, all the nice bits that go with it. But the things that you're actually going to get on the grill, think about, gnocchi and things that can go nice and crisp. Tofu, teriyaki tofu, delicious.
It's such a good call. My kid
I love
loves
that
fried
idea.
gnocchi.
Absolutely. Because I used to pan fry.
I
I did pan fry gnocchi, but I'd not thought of putting it on a skew on the barbie, but I will do now.
Smoke just it just infuses it so well.
A little bit of pesto dressing on there would be nice.
Delicious. There's nothing that'll work barbecue.
No, absolutely. I think this is, as you say, Katie, it's thinking outside the box and actually seeing your barbecue as an oven and a hob combined. I think you need the lid, really, if you're gonna do that. So if you've got a lid, it will work as an oven. Understanding the concept of direct and indirect heat. So where you've got the direct heat is what you would do normally on the top of your hob, and in the indirect heat is what you would do in your oven. So that's it. There are no restrictions. Anything that you can do on your hob and in your oven, you can do on the barbecue.
I think as well, depending on the fuel you use as well, but I love like lumpwood charcoal, which gives you that really lovely flavour that I think, other things don't give you. But it does burn quick, so you have to, really work out your areas of direct and indirect heat, like you say. But that works so well. I think the flavours, you can't get them anywhere else. Yeah,
and I think seeing it as well as a preparation tool as well, so you like doing a baba ganoush and having your putting your aubergine in the fire and getting all the skin all blistered, and if you've only got an electric hob in your kitchen, you can't do it properly. But if you've got a wood fired oven or a charcoal barbecue, you're away.
Fantastic. It's a good call because Nigel got in touch, who said, thanks for the podcast. Really entertaining. I look forward to your new episodes. Thanks, Nigel. He says, sorry to be a bearer of bad news, but Tofurky is no longer available in the UK. Apparently, I spoke of my love of Tofurky in the Genesis Butler episode, and he says, you'll probably be as devastated as I was to hear this. I contacted Tofurky's customer services who confirmed the bad news. That's so sad. Anyway, so, in the light of that, thanks for those brilliant alternative suggestions. And thanks for getting in touch, Nigel. And Marie says, I love this podcast so much. I'm just reading out self-aggrandizing stuff now. I love trying all the recipes that are mentioned. Oh, I'm glad you do. Just send us some pictures, especially the sauces, such as the fermented chili sauce and the leek oil on the recent episode. Yeah, I'm dying to try that one. Do your guests have any other sauces or dressings or even chutney recipes that you can let us know? Like you said, Katie, it is kind of all about the sides, really.
Yeah,
do you have go-to dressings and sauces?
I mean, there's a dressing for everything, isn't there? I think, well, let's talk about mayonnaise to start. So, nice vegan.
Finally, it's an obsession of the day.
As we're fans, you get your bucket of vegan mayonnaise, and I think you can make a really nice deli pickle mayo with that. So, a bucket full of mayo. Get some
standard measure.
Get some capers, some sliced gherkins, some pickled onions, dill, lemon juice, and you've got like a really nice deli pickle flavour. Gorgeous on a burger if you've got burgers on your barbecue or in your oven. Absolutely delicious. But also I love quick pickles, so just red onion in the microwave with a bit of water, just cook it down really quickly for about 5 minutes, get some cider vinegar over it, some chilies, some lemon rind, unwaxed lemon rind, and just leave it for about an hour, and they go bright pink, they're crunchy, they're delicious, and I put them on everything from dal to a sandwich.
Nice. Richard?
I think pineapple pickle is one of my favourites. It's one ingredient, one main ingredient, and in fact, it would be great with just the sugar and the little bit of vinegar, but a bit of whole grain mustard in there. I just chop the pineapple really in a really small dice. It'll cook about an hour with a lid on, a few saffron strands in there if you really want to go to town. Is really nice.
Gorgeous.
Satay. I love a good satay sauce. A tandoori sauce made from we're talking mayonnaise now, I guess, aren't we? Just some soya yogurt and some lemon juice and some spices but yeah, I think pineapple pickle is my favorite go-to because it goes with so many things.
So it's literally just diced pineapple cooked up with a little bit of vinegar and sugar, is that right?
Yeah, and I put some whole grain mustard in it and a few bit of saffron. You can put a few chili flakes in there if you want to, or some bit
amazing.
of chopped chili. But yeah, lovely.
Yeah, good calls. Thanks for that. Lou says, I'm going camping this year with the family. I feel like all these people writing in have these wildly ambitious summers ahead.
Well, summer's in the UK ahead, aren't they? That's the great thing now.
And we are all cooking a meal at some point. They have given me a lunchtime. Happy days, she says. And we'll be at the beach. Oh, okay. So I'm going to prepare ahead of time and make some nice bits instead of buying rubbish like crisps and biscuits from Tesco's. Other rubbish products are available from other rubbish people. I'm kidding. Yeah. I've already thought of making some cheese straws. Oh, yeah. But would love some other ideas for this picnic, please. Thank you. Keep up the great podcast. Okay, then fine. Good. What would you take on a picnic to the beach, Richard?
Spanish tortilla. Egg-free, obviously, because it is beautifully cold. I use, for my egg replacer, I use chickpea flour, water, a little bit, the magic ingredient of kala namak, which is Indian black salt. Got to be careful you don't overdo it. Just smell it and you'll know why. It's pure sulfur.
Man, I love it. I love it.
Just a little bit in there. And, and plenty of caramelized onions. My tip for onions is always cook twice as many as what you think you actually should. And the secret is not to rush it. So just caramelize your onions really slowly until they go sticky and sweet and golden. And then obviously, and your potatoes nicely thinly sliced, I will cook them in some oil, drain them, and then mix the whole lot together, put it into a dish lined with baking parchment and bake it in the oven. And then just let it cool. And
brilliant.
I mean, you can press it if you want to, but you don't really need to. It's a fabulous picnic dish.
That's a great idea because sometimes you want something that's got some proper substance. I think so much like bread and crisps and stuff. It's all kind of a bit fluffy. You want just the proper weight of something dense.
Yeah.
Katie, what about you?
I think I'd definitely get handy with some shop-bought puff pastry, which is usually accidentally vegan. Always check the label, and get some lovely seasonal tomatoes on there. So bake that until nice and golden, just a really thinly sliced, all different colours tomatoes, heritage tomatoes sliced over there. You can add some pesto as well if you like, plenty of olive oil, pack it up with you. It's delicious. It's almost like that pizzery flavour, but you've got the flaky pastry instead, which is really delicious. And of course, some homemade chips and guacamole doesn't go down wrong either.
Absolutely.
How do you do your homemade chips?
Well, I do them like just tortilla wraps, and then do them in the oven for about 8 minutes until brown. Some sea salt over the top, plenty of oil.
Nice. That's a nice idea. I've never done that.
If you've got any leftover tortilla wraps, which we all do, there's always that one in the packet. Always make chips to go with guac or salsa.
Great food waste recipe, that for sure.
Those ones that go all curly and yeah.
It's one of those recipes that you let them go to waste. So you're like, I know what I'll do with that. It's like bananas. I know what I'll do with those. I'm going to make a cake.
Good call. Thanks. Erica says, can a vegan Scotch egg be achieved? That's a good question. I've tried recently a sort of a commercial attempt, and I'm going to say it wasn't an unqualified success. Katy, have you had a go at such a thing, or is that not really your... I feel like that's not really your thing.
Well, I have had a go at this, but I think that Scotch eggs should be illegal. But anyway, vegan or non-vegan, why would you? But anyway, I have had a go.
Oh, okay, I have to differ with you there, but anyway.
I mean, obviously, agar's great because you get that nice set texture, and it's naturally a cloudy product, so you get like the egg white, panko breadcrumbs, and of course you can use your good vegan sausages that have the skin that you can take off to do all that. But no. Richard, that's what I would do. That's what I'm doing. I just didn't eat it.
Yeah.
It's interesting, actually, isn't it? I think you've got the vegans like yourself, Katy, 16 years, and then you get the idiot newcomers like me, and you probably you must be rolling your eyes these days going,
I love it. I love to know what people are doing.
But of course I suppose those memories are much fresher in my mind, and I think that's part of the thing. And I used to love Scotch eggs, I have to say, and I used to cook Scotch eggs all the time. And however, I would not attempt a vegan Scotch egg because it has to have an egg in it. Otherwise, it's not a Scotch egg. And I've seen versions where people, it's all very well using your egg replacer for like a tortilla where it's just a liquid, or even doing, scramble. I love a tofu scramble or something like that. But no, you can't, until somebody comes up with a vegan chicken's egg. And when they do, I will be the first person making a Scotch egg. That I can promise you, because all the rest of it is no problem at all. But
see, you've got I'm kind of intrigued now. And now I want to try and do it myself. I loved your tip, Katy, on I'm guessing like those Richmond sausages would be great for kind of molding around something.
Yeah, just take out skin, use the actual.
But you could do a square
meat.
one if you had tofu. Actually, tofu as a kind of egg white substitute is sort of fine. If you made a cube of tofu, right, and you injected it with some chickpea flour, right, mixed up with some kalanamak for the yolk, inject that with a syringe. I don't know what I'm talking about. And then cover that in the sausage meat and then breadcrumb it and fry it. Surely.
Well, look forward to trying it.
You've obviously got time on your hands there, Jake. But, heaven forbid another lockdown, but maybe that's...
I'm always surprised and absolutely love hearing how people, how veganism is developing as a culture as well as everything else and all the new products on the market. It is incredible. But I look forward to the day where there is a vegan hen's egg that we can do something like that. Change my mind.
Yeah, I guess we can now answer the question: what came first, the vegan chicken or the vegan egg? We know it was the vegan chicken. Yeah. Erica, good luck. If you have a go, please share it with us. I'd really love to know how you do. Whether I get around to my idea, I don't know.
I'll be there for the breadcrumbs, like the nice crispy breadcrumbs. I'm there for.
You can pick those off and Sarah says, how could I make my own pate Or do you know any shops that sell tasty ones? I miss it so much, and the ones in the shops are not that pleasant, and the tins look like cat food. I think I know the ones you mean. Katie, have you had a go at a pate?
Yeah, I quite like, obviously you want lots of umami flavours in there, really nice rich flavours. I think chestnut mushrooms are fantastic in this. Nice yeast extract as well. I know, love it or hate it, but I love it in things. And I find that, the vacuum packed chestnuts that you can buy in the supermarket, if you blitz all them together, they give a really good sort of bind and a really good texture. It's quite a smooth texture. And all that combined together is really nice balance. So I use that as a pate.
Nice.
But the shop bought ones, I have had some good ones. I know there's some fancier shops, some fancier delis that you can get excellent ones at, but a homemade one is actually more simple than you think.
Nice. Some great ideas there. Richard, what about you?
Yeah, well, I totally agree with Katie on this one. I mean, mushrooms and nuts. I mean, the chestnut mushrooms, I'll add some brandy. And if you really go to town, you can add some Madeira there as well. And really, it's got to be reduced right out. Roast walnuts are wonderful as well. That combination of flavors, I certainly wouldn't try and replicate a meat pate, but mushroom and the nut vibe is the way to go.
Yeah, that's those
chestnuts and walnuts is absolutely wonderful complementary flavors.
Nice. I'm trying to find, there's a pate that it's a long way to go for a very small tub of pate, but in France, there's a vegan pate that's really good. It comes in a little cardboard carton, and it's in like shops like Carrefour. I don't know why I'm even sharing this. Why do you want to know? But it's really good. The first time I tried it, I kind of didn't like it because it was a bit too weirdly savoury and had sort of meaty bits in it.
Corsey, yeah.
You know what I mean? But actually the second time I had it, I was like, no, I'm in. I want this. And I had a great time. I found it. It's made by a company called Bordeaux Chesnel. That's Bordeaux without an X on the end, and Chesnel to you. Rillette la Végétale. Roulette la Végétale. And try it. Well, we've come pretty much to the end. Thank you both so much for everything that you've done. Where can people find you and your stuff? Richard, let's start with you.
As I say, we are launching Jampers, porky pies in summer. They will be in booths, stores. They will be available through various wholesalers. We're having ongoing, hopefully the Vegan Kind supermarket as well. We're talking to at the moment. Just look out for them. The website will be jumpers.co, and that will be live hopefully in the next couple of months. So we're doing a spicy chorizo one and a vegan black pudding one as well.
I can't wait to try those. They sound amazing.
I'm sure you'll enjoy them, Katie. I shall send you a few as a preview.
Amazing, thank you.
How do we get invited to the launch?
Well, don't worry about that. You're top of the list.
Of course. That's very sweet of you. Katie, where can people find you and your stuff?
Thank you. So obviously I'm at katybeskow.com, and my 8th book, Vegan Barbecue, which I've got the very first copy.
Oh, wow.
It's here. Is out on the 9th of June, available in all good bookshops, supermarkets, and of course, Amazon. This and all the others are available from Amazon as well.
That's fantastic. Thank you both so much. Quick reminder that you can come and see us in person. We're going to be at Vegan Life Live. If you're interested in getting tickets, it's veganlifelive.com. It's on the 11th and 12th of June. I can't remember when I'm going to be there, but I think I'm going to be interviewing Amari, who, if you've ever seen CBBC or CBeebies, he's that kid. He's probably like 26 now, but he's brilliant. An amazing vegan chef. And we're going to be doing a live recording with him. And it would be great to just say hi to you, so come on down. In the meantime, don't forget we're at podcast on social media. I suck at that so much, but come and say hi on there. And in the meantime, thanks very much for listening, and from me, JCap, goodbye. This has been a Swanburst Media production.